Bill Hitchcock. Welcome to the program. It is Monday, August 11th, and we have got a lot of information to get out to you, like tarpon, and more tarpon. Remember last week where we showed you they were just outside of Drum Inlet? Well, they ain't catching them there. They are catching flounder and speckled trout in places you wouldn't expect. The drum blitz continues primarily in the Outer Banks area. We got a storm update and some fisheries news. Now, before I get started, I want to bring something up. I discovered a problem with my email. A lot of folks saying, did you get my email? Did you get my email? No, I didn't. Well, I discovered what a problem was, fixed the problem, so please email me, billhitchcock@mail.com. I've got a lot of stuff, some pictures and videos and fishing reports that people have sent me over the past week or so that I didn't get, and I'm going to get that out to you now. Some weather information that's very, very important. This is from the National Hurricane Center. A tropical depression or tropical storm is expected to form by the middle to the latter portion of this week. Formation chance through 48 hours, 70%, and through 7 days, 90%. Now, what I'm about to show you is from the ECMWF, or the Euro, and the GFS, which is the American model. These are long-range forecast models. This is not meant to scare. This is just a heads up. These forecast models came out today, Monday 11th, and they're forecasting for August 20th. This is what they're talking about right now, both the Euro and the GFS long-range forecast models. They're saying it's staying off. It will turn into a hurricane, a Category 3, possibly Category 4. It will stay off the coast of North Carolina right now by several hundred miles. One of the things I find very interesting is both the Euro and the GFS are consistent. And this far out, what are we, 9 days out from what they're forecasting, that's somewhat unusual. You usually don't see the two so consistent. So things will change. It is long-range forecasting, but as of right now, August 11th, what I have showed you from the GFS and the Euro is for August 20th. It's a hurricane, a Category 3, maybe even a Category 4 hurricane. It will stay offshore of North Carolina and move north. It's just moving on up the eastern seaboard. And it looks like now, like the Nova Scotia area, if it makes landfall, it'll be up there. So this is not to scare you, but to make you aware so you can prepare. It is that time of year. Now, some news. I want to touch on this real lightly. The North Carolina Marine Fisheries Commission will meet August 20th or 21st at the Hilton Raleigh in North Hills that is open to the public and will be live streamed on YouTube. This is the one thing I wanted to bring up to everybody. I won't go through their whole agenda because sometimes it's boring as everything. We won't go into that. But they will be having the adoption of Amendment 4 to the Southern Flounder Fishery Management Plan. If approved, it will expedite the allocation transition to 50% commercial, 50% recreational in 2025 rather than 2026. So this is really, really important. Here we are in August, mid-August. If it gets approved, the allocation now gets split 50-50, not next year. And we'll see if some other things don't happen. The commission will also discuss management issues regarding, for flounder, draft amendment 5 to the Southern Flounder Fishery Management Plan. So there's Amendment 3, now there's Amendment 4, now they're going to talk about Amendment 5. Oh, let's do an Amendment 6. Why not? Anyway, I'm just being sarcastic. So we'll find out here in a couple of weeks if it becomes a 50-50 split. And I know and flounder season starts September 1st and only goes to the 14th, but we'll see about that. Now, fishing report, Jeanette's Pier. As they say, it's been a great week for red drum. I think it's been more than a week. Ever since the wind turned out of the north and it cooled things down, those drum have been there, specifically the big drum, the entire time. Now, outcast fishing charters out of Wanchese, guess what? Drum. They say, Case Mom and Dad had them a good old time pulling on the big ones this afternoon. Great job, y'all. Yes, it is. Now, I want to touch on, all right, Fish the Pelican, they're out of Oregon Inlet. They say this, they said, a wonderful day fishing the Alice Kelly tournament with these beautiful ladies. We had a great day with Krista Letha catching her first white marlin and Kaylee releasing a white marlin to start our day. Now, I'm bringing all this up because the 2025 Alice Kelly Memorial Ladies Day Tournament, Billfish Tournament out of Pirates Cove have extended the tournament dates to August 11th, Monday, today, because of bad weather, and that is somewhat unusual. Tournaments like the Big Rock Blue Marlin Tournament They're over a 6-day time period, but you're only allowed to fish 4 days, and you can pick those 4 days, and the reason why is because of weather. But the other thing I wanted to point out is as of Monday morning, during the Alice Kelly tournament, there's been 3 blue marlin and there's been 116 white marlin. You may recall I started talking about this a couple of months ago, that August, September, white marlin activity is ballistic out of that neck of the woods in the Outer Banks area. I've been on boats where 12 white marlin have been caught and released in a single day. So congratulations to those folks. Now, Hatteras Island on Rodanthe Pier. Thomas from Knott's Island just landed and released this 29-inch puppy drum. Carolina Girls Sport Fishing out of Hatteras. They said, we had a lot more wahoo bites, but can only hold on to about 5 of them. You know what? That's something I've been hearing a lot of the past week or so. In specific wahoo, people are saying they're hooking on to a bunch, but they're only able to boat a portion of that bunch. In any case, congratulations. They go on to say, I'd like to say they had an awesome day. Yes, they did. Now, the Miss Hatteras party boat. Woohoo! Some of the catches, I don't know, off our last full day trip. Watched the wind blow Friday and Saturday and made it offshore for a full day again today. And the weather has been interesting. Everybody remarks about it, and if you go to some of these pier websites, you'll see a lot of video and pictures of the bad snotty weather that's come through Saturday and Sunday. And as I'm doing this on Monday morning, I'm in Morehead City and it's raining. All right, Frank and Franz out of Avon, they said, we heard of some small pompanos spotting sea mullets today and blues in Spanish this morning in Frisco. And here we got Oliver in on the action, landed some nice fish, Spanish mackerel. We've heard a lot more about Spanish out of the surf recently. Hatteras Jack out of Rodanthe, sharks! At nighttime, all I can say that if you fish for sharks at nighttime, please have a lot of light. Please be very, very careful. Nothing like being out with something wet and wiggly and toothy at night. And I'm talking about the sharks. Okay. All right. Big congratulations to Anthony. I can't believe I said that. To Anthony Lorenzo out of South Chesterfield, Virginia, for landing a citation spadefish weighing in at 5 pounds 3 ounces and measuring 16.5 inches. Even more impressive, he shish kebabbed it. He speared it. All right, Sea Dreams Fishing out of Hatteras Landing Marina. They said, we fished the Alice Kelly tournament yesterday with a great group of ladies. We never saw a billfish, but we did get them a lemon of mahi and 3 wahoos. They toughed it out in some terrible rain and a lot of stuff that day. Now, spectacular. Captain Rick Scarborough out of Teachers Lair Marina there in Hatteras. He says Davis and Shalkaran, Chexton, are good fishermen and were able to catch a limit of bluefish very, very quickly, and also a very nice little puppy drum, and I'm sure that made good dinner. Done deal sport fishing. The fishing is continuing to make a swing in the right direction. Wahoo, mahi, some tuna to complete the meat slam. And again, it's that time of year, tuna, dolphin, wahoo. We've been hearing a lot about mahi, dolphin, and wahoo. Not so much for the tuna. You may recall as we came into this season, it was gangbusters tuna, but it is traditional for this time of year. Now, moving on down to Ocracoke, Tradewinds Bait and Tackle. Audrey Franco from Woodbridge, Virginia, caught this gorgeous 5 pound 3 ounce sheep's head fishing from a boat in the sound behind Ocracoke Island. I do know on the backside of Ocracoke they are catching flounders, not from a boat. If you can find a little creeky area, hint, hint, fish there. Don't have any pictures. Also, bluefish are still doing very good out of surf there on Ocracoke. Now, this is exciting. In the central area, the Cape Lookout, Crystal Coast area, chasing tails. 41.5 pound wahoo on the scales for Adler Wiggins. First offshore trip was a success. Sonny and David experienced a trip of a lifetime with Captain Hunter Bolton, catching big reds after big reds all day on artificials. You're going to hear more about that. And traditionally this time of year, up in the Neuse River, the mouth of South River, places like that is an extremely good place for these big drum. Now, something else to talk about. A 67 pound cobia caught today, again yesterday, at the Atlantic Beach Bridge. Alan Johnson, Austin Bizette, and Jacob Lamb were sheepshead fishing at the bridge, at the Atlantic Beach Bridge, when this beast of a cobia popped up around the pilings. They tossed a live pinfish to it, and the rest is history. Congratulations, guys, on a crazy fish story. Now, I do want to tell you this. That cobia popped up there, they said, at the Atlantic Beach Bridge. One of my favorite cobia fishing spots from years ago was from the Atlantic Beach Bridge working west. All you got to do this time of year is find, well, June, July, into August, is find at least 20 feet of water, stay out of the ICW because it gets real strict there. Bottom fish. That used to be one of my favoriteest places to go fishing, behind the, what's the hotel there? Anyway, so that is a great cobia place. I have not heard anybody fish in that area in quite a while. All right, the Captain Stacy, they said definitely not an everyday catch for us. A special shout out to these two groups that caught these 35 and 38 pound cobias on our half day trip Thursday, August 7th. Now, cobias are still out and about. We go like a week or so and don't hear anything, and then boom, all of a sudden, cobia. Usually cobia activity on the inside is until about July, and then they start working on the outside, so congratulations to those folks. Now, Captain Austin's Guide Service and Eco Tours in Carteret County, they said last year these guys came and didn't have much luck. We made up for it yesterday evening. A nice class of fish with 3 over 50 inches in just 2 hours of fishing. So congratulations to those folks. Sensation Sport Fishing. So having fun with a white marlin today, Alice Kelly style. Way to go, guys. Note, oh yeah, the picture. Do you see the splash? You see the water coming over the stern? Well, the boat is backing down on the fish. But one thing I wanted to point out, you see the angler, and of course the angler and the captain always get the credit when you come to the docks and you weigh your fish. But you notice that 3-man crew, the mates, all of those guys have a job. All of those guys are doing something. If it wasn't for the mates, fishing would be different, or catching would be different. It would be a different type of adventure. Now, speaking of adventures, Emerald Isle Adventures. Love this. He says, our longest red of the summer, measuring in at 33 inches after a slow morning. We sure are enjoying these cooler temperatures. And the cooler temperatures comes with the wind, comes with the rain, has been for probably the past 10 days or so. Bogue Inlet Pier, speckled trout over 5 pounds, and some big Spanish mackerel over 3 pounds. Bad weather Saturday. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. This just typifies what's been going on along the coast. I was on the telephone with a mystery woman. She was up in the Raleigh-Durham area yesterday. Sunshine, beautiful, all that. I said, well, just look from Hatteras all the way down to Wilmington. The coast is just covered in thunderbolts and lightning, and that's, again, what it's been like. In the southern area, Seaside Charter Company, Wrightsville Beach. We sure do hate throwing these tasty fish back in the water. Looking forward to flounder season. Book your trip today. September 1 through 14th is the flounder season. Flounders are out and about. Now we're getting into some exciting stuff. Surf City Ocean Pier, Spanish mackerel, and some gray trout. Now take a look at this. Johnny Mercer's Pier, tarpon. Yep, we got some video of them with the tarpon on there from the pier, and a little bit of video to show you here at the end as they got it. They released the tarpon. Oh, they're also at the Johnny Mercer's Pier. They're also doing well with puppy drum. So congratulations to the tarpon catch and release. You, just in case you don't know, tarpon are big fish, and you can't reel them up from a pier out of the water. It'll snap everything, including you. So you walk them down to the beach, you go out there and get them and unhook them and let them go. Well, it wasn't just the Johnny Mercer Pier. How about the Jolly Roger Pier? Another nice tarpon caught and released. This catch was a team effort. It hit Greg's rod. He handed it off to CJ, who fought it from the pier to the beach. Then the reel blew up, and Chris, CJ, and June hand-lined it in with Greg back on the rod. You couldn't make this stuff up. Left to right, June, Greg, Chris, and CJ, a 74-pound tarpon. I can't imagine with fishing line hand-lining in a tarpon, but that's what they had to do. Now, Fish Witch out of Carolina Beach, Spanish mackerel and more Spanish mackerel, but I wanted to show you this. So I'm going to roll this video. Listen to what the captain says.
Red snapper. That's another one of those rare and endangered ones that we're not allowed to keep, but we catch them every day.
How many times have you heard it, whether it's snapper or flounder or some other fish that we're told we can't keep? Catch them every day. Oh boy. Anyway, email me, billhitchcock@mail.com, billhitchcock@mail.com. I think I might do a special presentation just of all the videos and pictures that were sent to me that I didn't get. Again, I've corrected the email problem, so email me. If you don't get a response from me, you know I didn't get it. So, but now that problem has been corrected. We will keep an eye on the storm. What we showed you earlier is from 9 days out, long range forecast. As it stands right now, the storm will stay way offshore of North Carolina. But again, things will change on a day-by-day basis. We will keep you informed. Enough of me. I'm Bill Hitchcock. Until next time, see ya.